There are two types of people in this world: the clean streams, the ones that are beautiful, perfect, everything flows. They're like a mountain river, or a clean stream. Something you would want to bathe in, something you would drink, something just radiates health. And when you're young, you kind of feel like that. You have very little issues. But as you age, often we turn into something more like this. We turn into something that's stagnant. It doesn't flow as well. We have roadblocks. We have stagnation because our lymph system doesn't flow as well anymore. And that happens for many reasons, and we'll discuss some of them here in a second. But when you have stagnation like this, you often end up like this. You're going to get edema. You're going to get swollen limbs. I mean, you're going to gain a lot of weight. Say, oh, I'm just retaining water. No, your lymph system is not working. You are stagnant. You are not getting rid of the toxins, and it's a warning sign. Everything that is not flowing out of your system the way it's supposed to is poisoning your system, right? So if you're ingesting something, food, healthy, bad, whatever it is, your body has to break that down, and it breaks it out into good stuff and bad stuff. The good stuff is used for nutrition, to build your body, to fuel your system. The bad stuff has to be removed, right? But if you cannot remove it because it's too much junk, too many toxins, and your system's overworked and overwhelmed, it's going to store it. And when it stores it, it's going to put it in fat, mostly fat. And that fat is everywhere. It's not just on the outside, it's on the inside, visceral fat. Also, your brain is just a bunch of cholesterol and fat and nerves put together. The nerves are wrapped in fat, okay? Kind of like a corn dog. And that fat holds all the toxins. Your body has to take those toxins out and then move those toxins down the lymphatic system from the brain or the lymphatic system from the body and then out, right? But often that doesn't work. You get swollen tonsils, you get swollen lymph nodes, and your body's not moving that out. And it gets worse and worse and worse and becomes infected. And then we see a normal dentist or a normal doctor, and they'll say, well, you got to get rid of your tonsils. They're infected. Well, of course they're infected. That is how you're supposed to get rid of infections. If you don't have tonsils, the infection just travels to the next lymph system, which is the cervical lymph nodes. And if those aren't good enough, it's going to go into your lungs. And honestly, you don't want lung infections. You want an infection in the throat that's then going to move it out into the lymphatic system. It's a really good way to catch the infections. Very frustrating that we're constantly removing the defenses because we're not able to actually function properly. So when we tell you to open up those detox pathways, what we're really talking about is just to create flow, to allow the toxins to move from point A to point Z. It has to get in through the mouth and has to go out through the lymph system. You have many ways of getting rid of these toxins. Sweating, peeing, going to the bathroom. There's many different ways to get rid of these toxins. And a lot of us don't have the ability to properly eliminate the toxins, and then they build up. So freeing up your detox pathways just means making things work, making things flow like a beautiful alpine river, so that when something gets put into the water, it's gone like that. It's immediately washed out. But if you keep throwing dirty water into a fish tank, for instance, and you don't clean that fish tank, it looks really nasty very quickly. And do you think the fish are going to do well in that dirty fish tank? Not really. They end up dying. So all of this, of course, starts in the mouth, the beginning of your digestive system. And then it has to move through a cascade of events to get rid of the bad parts of the food that you ingest. The better the food, the less the body has to work at getting rid of the toxins, right? So if you're ingesting glyphosate, if you're ingesting seed oils, if you're ingesting tons of sugar and all these chemicals that were not made to actually ingest, mainly in our food, right? Then your body has to put them somewhere. And if your detox pathways are not open, what happens? All these toxins get stored in your fat. And that fat is everywhere in the body. It's not just on the outside, it's on the inside. It's called visceral fat. It's around your organs. It's actually wrapping your nerves, right? Your brain is just a big glob of cholesterol and fat. And every nerve is wrapped in fat, the myelin sheath. And that is where the toxins go. And if your body does not have detox pathways that are open, it keeps on accumulating. And then things go wrong, right? We get Alzheimer's, we get diseases that are chronic. And that's the kind of stuff that ends up killing us down the line. And who wants that? So when somebody detoxes and their pathways are not open, what really happens? Well, you're going to pull all these heavy metals out of their, locked in position, but your lymph system is not able to get rid of it. Your lymph system is overwhelmed. It is stagnant. So it's going to take all these toxins and just put them in a different part of your body. Often, so many toxins are pulled out and put into a certain part of your body that now your body's even worse off. It's getting overwhelmed with all these new toxins. So you're actually making things worse by detoxing if you're not able to get rid of the toxins. It's kind of like when you kill all the bugs in your body at once with antibiotics or fenbendazole, like with parasites, and they all die at once, and then you have massive die-off, and you don't really have the issue from the bacteria or the parasites or whatever you end up killing. You have the issue from all the dead stuff, all the poisons that were released, and then we actually die from the poisons, not from the thing we tried to kill, because your detox pathways weren't open. So the moral of the story is pretty simple. If you want to get healthy, you have to open up the detox pathways. And you know how easy that is? It's walking, it's moving, it's making sure the body's actually doing what it's supposed to do. The worst thing you can do is sit in front of a computer all day and then go home and sit in front of a TV all day. And then when you're eating, you're sitting on a chair and you're constantly constricting those detox pathways and nothing can leave your body. That's kind of the American way, right? Well, that's how everybody gets sick. And then they try to detox, or they try to watch the newest trend on TikTok or Instagram about how to detox. And as you just learned, it makes everything worse. And they don't get good results. And they get frustrated and depressed and sick and obese. And then they see a medical doctor, an allopathic medicine doctor. And what are they going to do? They're going to prescribe you pills. They're going to give you drugs to cover the symptoms. So what really happens? You get worse and worse and worse until at some point something overwhelms you. Maybe it's cancer, maybe it's Alzheimer's, maybe it's dementia, maybe it's something else, but something is going to overwhelm you because your body is done. So start off right, open your detox pathways, work with somebody like myself who is a detox expert, and figure out what it's really going to take to go step by step to detox properly and safely. So if this makes sense to you and you're interested in more fun content, trying to simplify the reality of ultimate health, follow me. Click the subscribe button and like this video. It helps me understand that you actually enjoy these videos and I can make more of them for you. And as I said, every Thursday we try to have a live. I think I'm finally able to do lives. I guess you have to first sign up for them on YouTube. I'm still kind of a novice there. But this Thursday, I think we should be able to do a live and you can have some questions regarding anything we talked about or any topic regarding medical dental health. Of course, it is for entertainment purposes only. We cannot give medical advice.